Hi everyone, my name is Tom Mitzoff. I'm one of the Bitcoin coaches, and I'm here to present Bitcoin Apprentice training module number 6, Bitcoin Security. Now, if you have not seen our previous modules in the Bitcoin Apprentice training program, we strongly advise you to go back to training module 1 or wherever you left off previously and begin the process from there. It's important that you take this material in sequence. But if you've already done 1 through 5, then we are very happy to have you here for number 6. The coaching goals that we hope to impart to you here today in this number 6 module include why it is so important to properly secure your coins, the best ways to back up your wallets, and to reinforce with you that you are your own bank when you're working with Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies. Security for your Bitcoin wallet shares some similarities to how we would take normal security precautions for our real-world wallets. Since your digital wallets are connected to the internet, there are additional security precautions that must be observed to protect and preserve your Bitcoins. Now, given the rapid rise in the value of Bitcoin, cybercriminals have great incentives to create malware and viruses to steal digital wallets. In fact, early in 2014, there were reports that there were over 100 different malware programs out there that people had created, and they're just like any other virus, they're out there to try to either hack into your computer or steal something from you. Be cautious. In the real world, most people do not carry huge amounts of cash in their pockets. We should have the same consideration for a Bitcoin wallet. There's no reason you cannot possess multiple wallets. In fact, with Armory, you can have multiple wallets at the same time on the same platform. And in one of the previous modules that you should have seen by now, we point out where you can go on our bitcoincoaches.com website to get resources, including a link to Armory. And that's one of the ones we recommend that you sign up for and begin to become familiar with. Spread the wealth. For example, you can have one wallet for everyday use. You can keep a small amount of coins or fractions of coins in that wallet. And that might be one that you would use if you have in your neighborhood some shops that accept Bitcoin, and you can use that on your mobile phone to pay for small amounts of purchases. Then you can have a different wallet where you would hold a large chunk of your Bitcoins for safekeeping or perhaps larger scale purchases. And you can add different wallets for different purposes, and each wallet can have its own separate password. In fact, it should have its own separate password. So if someone steals your everyday use wallet, your wallet with the larger holdings won't be at risk because it has a different password and it's in a different place. It's best to have a balanced approach. Keep some of your Bitcoins online for commerce, some of your Bitcoins in a wallet on your computer, and some in cold storage. And we'll talk more about what cold storage is. Then make sure your wallets are backed up, and we'll talk more about that as well. A good backup is a copy of your wallet file that you store off your computer. That way, if something happens to your computer, you still have access to the backups. IT professionals have a saying, data doesn't exist unless it is in 2 separate places. We recommend a small thumb drive as a way to do this. Now, at the very least, you should have the following in place: encrypted wallets to prevent others from accessing your data, a USB stick, also known as a thumb drive, with additional copies of the private keys in case your machine is stolen and you forget your backup account password. So basically what we're saying is that you have at least one thumb drive or USB stick with your wallet on it, and a separate one with the password information on it, because if they're both in the same place and someone finds it, then basically your backup is insecure. You must use encrypted wallets if you're storing them off your computer for what we hope are obvious reasons. Scramble your eggs. The classic reason to not have all of your eggs in one basket is the collapse of the Mt. Gox Bitcoin exchange. And you may have heard about this. Mt. Gox is a website which is a place where you can exchange Bitcoins for other currencies. Mostly they are existing fiat currencies. It collapsed in early 2014 when all of the Bitcoins that had been placed within that exchange could not be located. And there still are investigations underway as to what all happened. But the long and short of it is that there were more than $500 million worth of Bitcoins that were in the Mt. Gox exchange, which the people who own them do not have access to anymore. In fact, we were at a meeting of some Bitcoin folks recently, and a fellow there told us that he lost 95% of his Bitcoins in Mt. Gox. And that is the classic reason, an example of why you want to scramble your eggs or have all of your eggs in different baskets. If you're spread over several venues, you won't lose all of your coins if one of those venues is compromised, such as Mt. Gox. What happens if you accidentally delete your wallet, lose your wallet, or your hard drive crashes? If your Bitcoin wallet is on that hard drive with no backup stored elsewhere, it's just like losing a cash wallet. In fact, in some cases, it's worse than losing a cash wallet. Because when an honest person finds your cash wallet, they might return your wallet with the money. But with the Bitcoin wallet, if your hard drive crashes, the Bitcoin stored on it are now lost, and they can never be recovered unless you have a backup, as we described earlier. If there's no backup, nothing can be done to retrieve them. There are two ways to encrypt your wallet. The first is to turn on the encryption function in your software Bitcoin wallet program. If you're using the actual Bitcoin QT software wallet program, which is the wallet that comes with the original Bitcoin software, there's a menu option you can select to encrypt your wallet. Next, you apply a strong password that only you know. Then it encrypts your wallet, exits out of the program, and makes you rerun the program to activate the encryption. We also recommend that you encrypt your backups, especially if you're going to put them online. Some people put them in the cloud. This is a precaution for occasions such as if you have a fire or if someone steals your computer. Then your backups are not stored on your computer at home or at your business. Now, some people that we know, they actually have their backups stored in safe deposit boxes. If you have a large amount of coins on your thumb drives that you're using for backups, that would be a really good idea to have a safe deposit box. You should never, ever forget your password. You must be able to remember it or where you have stored it, even after years of not using it. You may have a wallet where there's still coins inside and you can't remember the password. And if you don't know it, like we've said before on other instances here, you are out of luck, because there is no password recovery link like you see on most World Wide Web websites that require passwords. Your coins are forever lost. Never let yourself believe that your coins are on a computer that cannot be hacked. That's a mistake you do not want to make. You are the bank for your Bitcoins. It's your responsibility to make sure that they're secure. And as we mentioned in some previous modules, but there are instances where Target had their data breached, Adobe had it breached, Mt. Gox and their issues, and those were all companies and computer systems that I think most people believed were pretty secure, especially companies like Target and Adobe. But in this day and age, you cannot ever assume that their computer that someone can't break into. This is the most important module of the ones that we are doing in our Apprentice course. You can be a technical expert, but if you don't secure your Bitcoins properly, you stand a decent chance of losing them or having them stolen, because people are very, very interested in Bitcoins with the way that they've risen in value. And it's just like anything else of value. People want it, and they will do what they have to do to get it. So please be careful. So you have completed the final module of Bitcoin Apprentice training. If you've missed any of the previous modules or are unclear on any of the points we've covered, go back to the previous modules and review them. The links are all below this video. Now that you understand more about Bitcoin than 99.9% of the population, and you do, You can continue your education through our Bitcoin Mastery course to become a world-class Bitcoin expert. Included are strategies on how to turn a profit on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Thank you so much for watching module number 6 and all the modules in our Apprentice course. For more information on the Mastery course, which will put you among the elite in the world in terms of your knowledge of Bitcoin, go to bitcoinmasterycourse.bitcoincoaches.com. This is Tom Mitzoff once again saying so long for now, and thank you so much for watching the modules in the Apprentice course, and we will see you in the Bitcoin Mastery course.